Do you believe that family ties are unbreakable? Prepare to challenge this idea. Today, we will reveal 9 surprising signs that show when it's essential to cut ties, even with those closest to you. This may seem radical, but the implications are profound and liberating. This stoic journey will not only protect your inner peace, but also transform your view of relationships. In just a few minutes, you will discover truths that most fear to face, but are crucial for your emotional freedom. Be ready for a revealing journey that will change your life. Keep watching and uncover the power of stoic choice in your personal relationships. Number 1. When presence undermines self-control. At the core of Stoicism, as taught by Seneca, lies the virtue of self-control. He clearly expresses, true happiness is mastering the waves of life, not being carried away by them. This phrase resonates with timeless wisdom, suggesting that serenity and inner peace come from commanding our own emotions and reactions, rather than being pawns in the hands of circumstances. In this context, it is crucial to observe how human interactions impact our ability to maintain this inner balance. At times, we encounter people whose presence seems to challenge our self-control. They may incite turbulent emotions, provoke impulsive reactions, or trigger a series of thoughts that take us away from our center of calm and reason. In these moments, we must exercise a more critical and thoughtful look. If we notice that being around someone consistently disrupts our ability to remain balanced and serene, this can be a powerful indicator. It may be a sign to deeply re-evaluate these ties. It's not about hastily eliminating people from our lives, but understanding and acknowledging the effects they have on our mental and emotional state. This reflection leads us to question, to what extent should we allow others to influence our state of mind? The answer, while not simple, can be found at the heart of Stoic philosophy. It encourages us to seek a balance where our inner peace and self-control are not easily shaken by external storms. Therefore, when facing relationships that consistently challenge our self-control, it's an opportunity to exercise our inner strength. It's a chance to reaffirm our ability to stay calm and rational, even in the face of the most turbulent waves of human interaction. Number 2. When the relationship hinders personal growth. Marcus Aurelius, the esteemed emperor and philosopher, had keen insights into the essence of life and its complexities. He fervently advocated for living in harmony with nature, a concept that at its core extends not only to the natural world, but also encompasses our inner nature, our true essence. In this context, human relationships play a crucial role. Imagine a relationship that instead of nurturing, ends up restricting your personal development. Such a relationship, according to the Stoic view, is in direct contradiction to the law of nature. Nature, in its implicit wisdom, is always in motion, always evolving, always seeking improvement. Likewise, we as human beings are programmed to grow, evolve, and flourish. A relationship that hinders this natural growth can be seen as an obstacle to our journey of self-improvement. When we are stuck in dynamics that hold us back, we are, in a way, denying our own nature. We are resisting the natural flow of life, pushing us toward our development and fulfillment. This leads us to a point of deep reflection. How to identify and deal with relationships that prevent us from progressing. Stoicism teaches us to observe, with discerning eyes, the impact people have on our personal growth. If a relationship consistently brings us down, veers us away from our goals, or prevents us from becoming the best version of ourselves, then it may not be aligned with our path of development. It is essential, therefore, to cultivate relationships that encourage us, propel us forward, and resonate with our intrinsic desire for growth and improvement. Relationships that align with our inner nature and allow us to expand our horizons, explore our potential, and pursue our true calling. In conclusion, the words of Marcus Aurelius remind us that living in accordance with nature is not just an act of harmony with the external world, but also a commitment to personal growth and refinement. Relationships that block this natural path of evolution should be viewed with scrutiny and, if necessary, adjusted so that we are aligned with our true nature and destiny. Number 3, when they evoke constant negative emotions. Epictetus, one of the pillars of Stoicism, left us with deeply relevant wisdom for understanding our emotions. He stated, "It is not events themselves that disturb us, but rather the interpretations we make of these events." This perspective is crucial when facing relationships that constantly trigger negative emotions in us. When someone in our life regularly evokes feelings of sadness, frustration, anger, or any other negative emotion, a critical moment of introspection arises. It is time to ponder. Is this emotional turmoil a product of my own perceptions and interpretations? Or is it a direct response to this person's influence over me? It is essential to distinguish between these two elements, our perception and external influence. On one hand, if we find that our negative emotions are largely a product of our own interpretations, then the solution lies in adjusting our perspective. This aligns with Stoic teaching that we have the power to shape our emotional responses by cultivating a more rational and balanced view of life and our interactions. On the other hand, if we conclude that the source of these negative emotions is genuinely the influence of this person, then we are facing a different challenge. In this case, it may be necessary to reassess the presence and role of this person in our life. Does this relationship contribute positively to our well-being and growth, or does it hinder us from achieving the peace and balance we seek? This assessment is not simple and requires an honest and deep analysis of ourselves and our relationships. In some cases, the solution may be to establish clearer boundaries, communicate our needs assertively, or even, in extreme situations, distance ourselves from the source of negative emotions. The teaching of Epictetus serves as a powerful reminder that, while we cannot control all external circumstances, we have the ability to control how we react to them. However, this does not mean that we should passively accept situations or relationships that are harmful to our well-being. The balance between understanding our perception and recognizing the real influence of others is a key aspect of living a more harmonious and balanced life. Number 4, when the relationship is based on dependency, not compassion. Stoic philosophy, rich in teachings about virtues and emotional balance, emphasizes the importance of compassion. However, it also warns us about the danger of emotional dependency. While compassion is a pillar that supports healthy and enriching relationships, dependency is like a chain that binds us, limiting our emotional freedom and self-sufficiency. A true follower of Stoic principles aspires to achieve emotional self-sufficiency. This means seeking peace of mind and serenity not through others, but through our own understanding and control of emotions and thoughts. When the foundation of a relationship is dependency, whether emotional, physical, or mental, we are giving up a crucial part of our personal freedom. We are, in a way, putting the key to our happiness in the hands of another person. Compassion, on the other hand, is an expression of empathy and kindness that strengthens relationships. It is genuine and selfless, seeking nothing in return. Compassion allows us to connect with others in a healthy way, without compromising our emotional integrity and without creating dependency. It is vital to differentiate these two aspects in relationships. A healthy and balanced relationship allows both parties to grow together, supporting each other, but without becoming indispensable for each other's happiness or well-being. In contrast, a relationship based on dependency creates a cycle of need and attachment, where one's happiness becomes excessively tied to the presence or actions of the other. Therefore, it is important to reflect on the nature of our relationships. Are we cultivating bonds based on compassion, mutual respect and support, or are we falling into the trap of emotional dependency? A Stoic would seek to cultivate relationships that promote individual and collective growth, always maintaining emotional independence and freedom of spirit. So, when evaluating our relationships, we should ask ourselves, are they helping us grow and become more resilient? Or are they trapping us in a state of emotional dependency? The answer to this question can be a valuable guide to developing healthier and more enriching relationships aligned with Stoic principles of freedom, self-sufficiency, and compassion. Number 5. When the relationship violates your moral integrity. Integrity, a fundamental pillar of Stoicism, represents the strength and coherence of character essential for a virtuous life. This ancient philosophy teaches us that we should always act in harmony with our deepest principles and values. Therefore, when we encounter a relationship that requires compromising our moral integrity, we face a serious dilemma. A relationship that demands we violate our integrity not only distances us from who we truly are, but also compromises our emotional and spiritual well-being. In this context, the relationship can be considered toxic, as it puts us on a path of internal conflict and moral discomfort. The challenge then is to make the courageous decision to reassess and, if necessary, restructure or even end such relationships. This may require great willpower and courage, especially when strong emotional ties are involved. However, Stoic philosophy reminds us of the importance of being true to ourselves and our values, even in the face of challenges and difficulties. When facing such a situation, it is helpful to remember that our integrity is an invaluable resource that guides us through the storms of life and keeps us on the right path. Preserving it is not only an act of authenticity, but also a commitment to moral and personal excellence. Therefore, when evaluating our relationships, we should always consider their impact on our moral integrity. Are we strengthening our principles and growing as individuals, or are we deviating from our true essence? The answer to this question can be the key to living a life more aligned with Stoic wisdom and resilience. Number 6. When someone's presence increases your selfishness. Stoic philosophy, at its core, values the importance of living selflessly, placing the common good above personal interests. It teaches us to seek virtue not only for our own benefit, but also for the benefit of others. Therefore, when we find ourselves in a relationship that encourages or increases our selfishness or leads us to neglect the well-being of others, we are moving away from the central teachings of Stoicism. A relationship that fosters or increases our selfishness may be a sign of misalignment with Stoic values. Selfishness, unlike altruism, leads us to a self-centered view of the world, where the needs and feelings of others are often ignored or minimized. This behavior not only distances us from harmony with others, but also from the serenity and inner balance that are Stoicism's goals. So it's essential to reflect on how our relationships influence our behavior and attitudes. Are we being encouraged to cultivate empathy, generosity, and consideration for others? Or are we being led toward a more self-centered stance, where our desires and needs overshadow respect and compassion for others? Recognizing and addressing influences that promote selfishness in our lives is an important step in aligning our actions with Stoic principles. It may be necessary to reassess these relationships, establish healthy boundaries, or redefine the nature of the relationship to ensure that we continue to live ethically and compassionately. Stoicism encourages us to seek a balance where we take care of ourselves while also positively contributing to the lives of others. By doing so, we not only enrich our own lives, but also enhance the quality of our relationships and society as a whole. So when you notice that someone's presence is increasing your selfishness, consider it a sign for deep reflection. Ask yourself, is this relationship helping me become a better, more altruistic and compassionate person, or is it pulling me away from the ideals of virtue and empathy? The answers to these questions can guide us on the path to more meaningful relationships aligned with Stoic values. Number 7. When the relationship keeps you anchored to the past, Stoicism, with its timeless wisdom, encourages us to focus on the present, living each moment fully and mindfully. This philosophy reminds us that while we cannot change the past or completely control the future, we have the power to act and live fully in the here and now. Therefore, when we encounter a relationship that keeps us anchored to the past, hindering our progress, we face a significant obstacle to our emotional and mental well-being. A relationship that is constantly looking backward, reliving old memories, or unable to break free from past patterns, can prevent us from experiencing growth and new opportunities that the present offers. The past may have its value as a source of learning and reflection, but when it becomes an anchor that prevents us from moving forward, it becomes a burden. Stoicism teaches us to accept the past, learn from it, and then release it so that we can move freely in the present. This philosophy encourages us to cultivate relationships that are dynamic, that grow and evolve with us. Relationships that encourage us to explore new horizons, face new challenges, and grow as individuals. If you find yourself in a relationship that keeps you tied to what has been, it may be time to reflect on how you can redirect that relationship to the present. This may involve honest and open conversations about how both partners can work together to create a shared future focused on mutual growth and ongoing development. Life is a constant flow, and just as the waters of a river are never the same, we too are constantly changing and evolving. Healthy and enriching relationships are those that flow with this river of life, adapting, changing, and growing as we move forward. So when we realize that a relationship keeps us anchored to the past, it is an invitation to reassess how we can bring it back to the present. This doesn't mean forgetting the past, but using what we've learned from it to enrich our present and build a promising future. In doing so, we align ourselves with Stoic teachings, living more consciously, fully, and rewarding lives. Number 8. When the relationship discourages acceptance. At the heart of Stoic philosophy lies a fundamental principle, the acceptance of what we cannot change. This ancient wisdom teaches us to differentiate between what is and what is not under our control, encouraging us to embrace reality as it is, not as we would like it to be. Therefore, a relationship that keeps us in a state of constant resistance to reality may indicate that it is not positively contributing to our Stoic journey. A healthy relationship should encourage us to accept and deal with reality constructively, not immerse us in an endless cycle of denial and struggle against the inevitable. When we are in a relationship that constantly pushes us to battle unchangeable circumstances, we are not only wearing down our mental and emotional energy, but also moving away from balance and serenity. This principle of acceptance does not imply passivity or resignation, but rather an understanding that certain aspects of life, including characteristics or situations inherent to the people we relate to, are beyond our control. Stoic wisdom guides us to focus our energy and efforts on what we can influence, while peacefully accepting what is beyond our reach. Therefore, If a relationship leads us into a persistent state of battling reality, it is crucial to reflect on the impact of this dynamic on our life. Is it helping us grow and evolve, or is it trapping us in a cycle of frustration and discontent? When evaluating our relationships in the light of Stoicism, we should seek those that help us cultivate acceptance, inner peace, and resilience. Relationships that enable us to face reality with courage, wisdom, and serenity, rather than entangling us in unrealistic expectations or an endless struggle against the unalterable. Number 9. When the relationship interferes with your peace. Within Stoic philosophy, tranquility is more than just a state of calm. It's a supreme goal, a reflection of inner harmony and emotional balance. Relationships that systematically disturb this tranquility through constant conflicts, draining dramas, or ongoing negativity pose a serious challenge to Stoic principles. These relationships, instead of being sources of support, understanding, and mutual growth, turn into obstacles to serenity. Stoicism teaches us that although we cannot control the behavior of others, we have the power to choose how we react to it and how we allow it to affect our inner state. When we are in a relationship that continuously disrupts our peace of mind, it's essential to take a pause and reflect. Are we engaging in destructive dynamics that divert our attention from the path of self-development and balance? Or are we managing to maintain our serenity and perspective despite external turbulence? Re-evaluating such relationships is a process that requires honesty and courage. It may be necessary to establish clearer boundaries, communicate our needs and expectations openly, or in some cases, reconsider the viability of the relationship. Stoicism does not advocate for isolation or emotional indifference, but rather the pursuit of relationships that align with our values and promote our well-being. Furthermore, this philosophy encourages us to develop inner fortitude that allows us to face adversity without losing our tranquility. This doesn't mean ignoring problems or suppressing emotions, but facing them with an attitude of equanimity and understanding. So when facing relationships that interfere with our tranquility, we should ask ourselves, are we allowing these dynamics to disturb our inner balance? Are we practicing the Stoic art of remaining calm and rational, even amidst relational challenges? The answers to these questions will guide us toward wiser decisions aligned with Stoic principles, seeking relationships that enrich our lives and help us maintain the cherished tranquility of this philosophy. You have just embarked on one of the most transformative journeys of your life, uncovering the 9 signs that indicate when it is essential to cut ties, even with those closest to you. But remember, this is just the surface of an ocean of wisdom that awaits you. Now I challenge you, are you ready to keep exploring? Ready to uncover more secrets about living a fuller and more authentic life, aligned with the millennia-old teachings of Stoicism? Each video on this channel is a key to a new door of knowledge and self-discovery. By subscribing, you join a community of curious minds and courageous hearts, thirsty for growth and transformation. Don't let this journey end here. Give a like if this video resonated with you, share it with those you know need to hear these words, and comment on your own experiences and insights. Each action of yours helps spread this transformative message. And remember, the path to emotional freedom and inner peace continues. Be with us every step of the way. Follow the channel and turn on notifications to never miss a moment of Stoic wisdom that could be the catalyst for the change you seek. Your journey to a more stoic and liberating life continues. We are here to guide you every step of the way. See you soon.